Howdy, partner. My name is Woody, and I have a story to tell. You probably know me as the cowboy with the hat, boots, and the voice. Reach for the sky is what I always say, but today is different. Today I'm sharing the strangest, funniest, and most romantic adventure I've ever had. It all began on a routine day in Andy's room just like any other. Well, normal for a toy anyway, but don't be fooled. We have drama, arguments, friendships, and sometimes love. I've always seen myself as a serious cowboy, a sheriff, a true leader. The truth, I was always scared of making a fool of myself, especially around someone special. Her name was Jessie, and she was not your average cowgirl. She was extraordinary. Jessie was brave, funny, full of energy, and could probably outrun me wearing a blindfold. The first time I tried to impress her, I wanted to show off my cowboy skills. I walked up, adjusted my hat, and boasted, "Well, Jessie, looks like you've met the greatest cowboy in the West." She looked at me and smiled, making my heart race. "Really, Woody, the greatest cowboy in the West?" "Absolutely," I said proudly, trying to sound confident. Suddenly, my foot got stuck in a toy car and I fell face first into a pile of blocks. Yeah, talk about a hero fall. Jessie burst into laughter, nearly falling over herself. At first, I was embarrassed, thinking, "Great job, Woody. You look like a comedy act now." But then Jessie helped me up and said something I'll never forget. "Woody, you don't have to be perfect." "You're already special," she told me gently. When a cowgirl like Jessie says something like that, your plastic heart feels pretty warm. From that day forward, we spent more time together, going on tiny adventures. We explored places we weren't supposed to go and got into trouble. One night we decided to sneak outside to watch the stars, or so we thought. Actually, they were just little ceiling lights from a toy projector, but it felt magical. We sat quietly looking up at the glowing room, feeling like explorers in our own universe. Jessie asked me softly, "Woody, do you ever get scared?" I wanted to give the classic cowboy answer, nope. Cowboys don't get scared, but I decided to be honest. Sometimes I admitted. Sometimes I'm scared of losing the people I care about. Jessie smiled warmly, saying, "That's what makes you brave, Woody. Being scared but still showing up." In that moment, I realized being a hero wasn't about fearlessness, but about protecting those you love. Our love story wasn't always perfect, of course. One time I tried to cook a romantic dinner. Yes, a toy cowboy attempting to cook. A terrible idea, but I was determined. I gathered pretend food, arranged it nicely, and waited for Jessie to arrive. The problem, I accidentally knocked everything over before she could see it. When Jessie walked in, she saw chaos everywhere and asked, "What happened?" I looked around nervously and joked, "Romantic explosion?" She laughed, making everything feel better. Honestly, that was better than any perfect dinner I could have cooked. Love isn't about perfection. It's about laughter when things go wrong. Years passed, and we shared many adventures, some frightening, some hilarious. There were moments when I didn't know what the future held, but Jessie's smile kept me going. Every time I looked at her, I knew I was exactly where I belonged. If you're listening to my story, remember this, I'd say. You don't need to be the strongest or the coolest. All you need is a good heart, some courage, and someone who makes you smile. Even when you fall flat on your face, like I often do, love is still there. I've fallen more times than I can count, but I always get back up. That's what makes us heroes. Not fearlessness, but perseverance and hope. At the end of the day, I am still Woody. A cowboy, a friend, a toy, and more. Most importantly, I found happiness in my biggest adventure of all, love. So long, partner, I'd say, knowing that every ending leads to a new beginning.